Hi guys, and welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be playing with a couple of palettes from Oden's Eye, doing this eyeshadow look, a little bit of warm, a little bit of cool, got some interesting pops of color going on. If you want to see how I did this, then don't go anywhere. And if you are new here, hello, my name is Rachel. I'm a homeschooling stay-at-home mom. I so enjoy playing with eyeshadow, particularly colorful eyeshadow. I upload several videos a week. If you want to see more, you're in the right spot. And today I'm going to be talking a little bit about when subscribers want to send me gifts. I've got some new palettes in my collection, but I'm always very careful to only accept that which I think I will actually use. And I just want to go into that a bit more because people get ideas, you know? So without further ado, let's get rolling with this video. So I've already primed my eyes using the Glamlight Icing Primer. Today I want to play in these two palettes from Oden's Eye. I kind of want to take most of the shades from Saga Freya Cat's Breath, but then I want to deepen with one from Merry Christmas. I'm not really sure. I have a tentative plan. I'm going to start in Cat's Breath, and I'm going to take a medium-sized blending brush and grab the shade Cat Hair. And I'm going to place that through my almost my entire crease area. Cat Hair is a medium cool-toned brown. Got a little bit of sparkle in it, but if I remember correctly, most of that sparkle dissipates as you blend, much like ColourPop sequins shadows. So it's not really like applying a shimmer or a metallic. It's just behaves just like a matte. It's been a little while since I used this palette, but I still really enjoy it. It's so interesting because as I've tried other brands and formulas, I've found some new favorites. Oden's Eye, of course, is probably my favorite overall, but I really enjoy Beauty Bay and Glamlight's formulas as well. I've been buying less ColourPop and also decluttering more ColourPop as I try other brands because it just isn't the most exciting formula for me anymore. My horizons have been broadened, and that's okay. ColourPop's a great brand. Generally, their formula is really nice. They're super affordable, which is why it's easy to overbuy. If you have to pay more money for a palette, you're going to be a bit more discerning, probably, about whether or not that palette's actually worth it. Whereas with ColourPop, you're like, oh, well, you know, I could spend $15 here and get a palette, or $9 on sale, or whatever. From ColourPop, I still really like their lip oils. I have recently tried their glowing lip formula, which is nice as well. And I really enjoy their creme gel liners. I think that those are the best liners I've tried across the board to date. I have a couple of liners from Oden's Eye, but one of them I simply threw away. It just had no pigment whatsoever. The other one's amazing. So for me, that was kind of a mixed bag. Whereas I get more reliability and consistency from ColourPop's creme gel liners. I still enjoy the brand for that reason, and really their shadows aren't bad. It's just I have other shadows in my collection now that are simply more impactful and exciting to me. I did not bring that color onto my lower lash line because I haven't quite decided what I want to do there. I'm now digging into the Merry Christmas palette with a denser and slightly crescent-shaped blending brush. I'm going into the shade Hot Cocoa, which is a red matte, but it's a deep, almost burgundy kind of red. And I'm placing this just in my outer corner. But on the topic of palettes and other brands, I know that you guys have seen a couple videos where I talk about subscribers that have sent me gifts. Well, over the last several weeks, I've had a couple of other subscribers and even one other YouTuber send me some palettes. And it's really exciting. So pretty soon I'm going to be filming a video after everything arrives. I'll be filming a video showing you all the new pretties in my collection, and I think everything except for 2 of those palettes, maybe 3, will have been gifts from subscribers. There were 1 or 2 that I have bought myself, 2 of which were secondhand, but then 1 of which I paid full price from the brand on release because it was just so pretty and I was so excited about it and I treated myself. Kind of a little post-baby gift. Anyway, I'm waiting for everything to come in. I put way too much of this color. I forgot how pigmented this color was. Now there's just too much of it. So I keep cleaning off my brush on a color switch or a napkin, and I'm just working at these edges a little bit, trying to remove some product because that went overboard. That was not the plan. Anyway, I have a bunch of new palettes in my collection. Now, I have said this in private messages. When people ask me if they can send me something, I make sure that my subscriber or whoever's sending it understands. Listen, I try to keep my collection curated, and I'm not trying to offend anyone, but more than that, I'm not trying to take advantage of anyone. If you have a palette that you would like to send me, and I genuinely don't think that I would like it or get any use out of it. Maybe it's a brand that I don't want to try or have tried and don't care for. Maybe it's a color story that doesn't excite me. I so appreciate your generosity, but I don't want to waste your time. And I don't want to waste your money. And I always recommend, listen, why don't you check out the resale sites first? Maybe you can get a few dollars back for this thing because you've put money out for it and you're proposing to spend additional money to ship it to me. I would rather that you guys get some of your own money back, because I understand having put money out for something that's not being used and then feeling like, oh, well, now what do I do with it? Do I force myself to use it? Do I try to resell it? Do I give it away? Do I donate it? Do I throw it away? What do I do with it? I'd like to recompense some of my outlay, so I recommend that you guys do that. But a lot of people just don't really have the time or interest or inclination to put something on Poshmark or Mercari. I understand that. But when people offer to send me stuff, I want to make sure that they understand, listen, if I decide that this isn't a great fit for me, even though I try to not accept it unless I think it might be a good fit for me, I sort of reserve the right to donate it or sell it or give it away or whatever I feel is a reasonable action to take with this palette. It has happened a few times where palettes have come in, I've decided it wasn't a good fit, and I have resold them, or I've included them as freebies when somebody buys something that was already listed for sale out of my collection or whatever, or I've given to friends. You know, there are different situations, but I don't want to take advantage of people, and I don't want people to think that I am just saying, yes, send me your stuff so that I can resell it to make a few bucks myself. That's not the case at all. I'm really grateful and excited to try these new palettes that have come in. I'm excited to introduce them to you guys and just get some time to play with them, try a few new brands, a few formulas, and see if I can find some new favorites. I'm sorry if that was rambling. I was trying to get those thoughts out, but I hadn't really formulated them ahead of time. I am sorry. I'm going to deepen this outer corner just a little bit more using the shade Happy Ending within the Merry Christmas palette. It's just a black matte. I'm just going in lightly in the outer corner. I really didn't expect this look to go quite this red, but I genuinely forgot how much pigment I would get with just one dip. So it was supposed to be more brown with a bit of red, and now it's not, but that's okay. That's all right. It's all good. It's going to be pretty anyway. So just to close off that thought in my mind, I don't want anybody to think that I am out for myself and taking advantage of people's generosity. If you really want to send me some palettes and don't want to take the time to list or sell them yourself or whatever, if you just decide, hey, I want to see if Rachel's interested in this, I recommend that you contact me on Instagram where we can have private message. That way we're not having full conversations in the comments of my videos and we're not sharing addresses and information back and forth. I don't think that's necessary. So I am over on Instagram at Shimmers and Silver. If you're interested in sending me palettes, I'm happy to talk to you about that. You could tell me perhaps the ones that you think I might like, and I'll let you know, yes, I think I would like to try that, thank you, or no, I don't think it'd be worth your time and expense to send it to me because I don't feel that it would get much use in my collection. So when I do have subscriber gifts, I'm very grateful for them, and they're things that I have thought about in advance. Like, yeah, I think that this could be a good fit for me, my preferences, my style. You know, maybe this fills a gap or is something that I've wanted to try for a while, and it's just, if that opportunity comes up, that's great. But I definitely assess anything that people offer me to see if I think it would actually be a good fit or if it's just not worth your effort and energy and expense. That was definitely a lot more rambly than I expected to go. I'm sorry if you guys have your head spinning after that. I'm excited to introduce you to some new palettes in my collection. I'm excited to play with new palettes in my collection. I'm so grateful to my subscribers who were kind enough to send me some stuff, and it's going to be a good time. Let's move into shimmer. I've got a flat brush, and I'm taking the shade Wool Ball within the Cat's Breath palette, and I'm going to spray it after my brush is loaded. This is a light toned shimmer. It's very pretty. It's got a few different colored reflects in it, but I wouldn't necessarily call it a multi-chrome. It's more like a silvery shimmer base, but then it's got little bitty flecks of orange and blue. It doesn't necessarily change color as you turn your eye, does it? I don't really see that it shifts color. It just looks like a light colored base with a few little pops of other flakes. So I do think that I'm gonna bring this into a different colored shimmer. I'm gonna carry it on this upper half of my crease all the way over to meet the mattes. But then I'll leave this lower half at a diagonal a little bit more clear, and I'll put something else there. All right, I decided in the Merry Christmas palette, there is a shade called Little Star. I think that this is the only shadow in the Merry Christmas palette, which I haven't used. I did a whole week of uploads using just the Merry Christmas palette. I can card above for you my week of series where I have a whole week of Norns, a whole week of Michaela, just weeks and weeks of palette uploads. Anyway, I think that the Little Star shade is the only shadow that I didn't use in that week of uploads. So I'm gonna take this flat brush and go into that. I did spray it and then I dropped it on the floor, but I did spray it. And now I'm gonna put that underneath of this other shimmer that I laid down. Yeah, there we go. It's sort of a bronzy orange tone, but more mid-toned than vibrant, if that makes sense. So I'm making sure I don't go up to my crease with this. I'm just putting this underneath of that lighter silvery shimmer I just laid down. Wool Bowl, is that what it was called? And when I get out to the mattes, I will grab my original blending brush, or one of them, doesn't matter much which one. No additional product, I'm just tapping the edges where the shimmer meet the mattes. Trying to decide what to do for the lower lash line. I don't really want to bring these colors down because I feel like they're just a little bit boring. I mean, pretty, but not very exciting. And I like to make my looks a bit exciting. I think I'm going to experiment here. I've got a small blending brush going into the shade New Leaf in Merry Christmas, and I'm going to place this on my inner lower lash line and drag it out. Once I get about out here, I'm going to stop, color switch my brush, and go back into Hot Cocoa. And I'll just put this on the outer corner of the lower lash line. Color switch that brush again, and now back into the Cat's Breath palette. I'm grabbing the shade Catnip, which is a light Tiffany blue matte, and I'm putting that in the inner corner. I love a pastel inner corner. I mean, come on. It doesn't obviously bring the shimmer, but it brings something a little bit more interesting, I think. Color switch my brush and just buff out the edges of this. I think that's an interesting contrast because the cool tones on the lower lash line and the inner corner are meeting the cool tone of that Wool Ball shimmer, but then the warm tones of the outer corner and the mattes are meeting the warm tone of that orangey Little Star shimmer. It's not going to win any awards, but it's fun, right? I'm going to choose a waterline color. I will go off camera. You know the drill. We'll finish everything up. I'll be right back. Alrighty, so here is how the look turned out. In my waterline, I used this shade from ColourPop. It's called Fade Away. It's basically a creme gel liner version of that more orangey, bronzy metallic that I laid down from Santa Star, Little Star, whichever one it was called. And then on my lips, I'm wearing a NYX Butter Gloss in the shade Cinnamon Roll. Besides concealer and a little bit of face powder, I don't have anything else on my face, no blush or bronzer. I just didn't feel like it. I did do a winged eyeliner using the dark black matte in the Merry Christmas palette, and I have some mascara on, and that's everything. So I hope you enjoyed the look. As far as everything regarding subscriber gifts, I'm sorry if I'm a bit rambly. I was up really early, so I think I'm a bit scatterbrained, and I'm sorry if I sound flustered. Subscriber gifts. I am so grateful to my subscribers. You guys are great. You're awesome. You're very kind and generous. I don't want to take advantage of anyone. I really only accept things that I think I will genuinely enjoy, color stories that I like, or brands that I want to try. I'm not just letting people send me anything that they want. I'm very careful about what I bring into my collection, whether or not I've purchased it myself, or if someone else has purchased it and sent it to me later on because they find that they want to declutter it. I want to make sure that what I have is being used. So all of these new palettes that I'm going to be introducing to you, I haven't touched them yet. I've put them in the box. I'm waiting for the last ones to arrive, and then I'm going to do a little introductory video. Hey guys, here's what's new. Now let's play. I hope that makes sense. I am sorry if I'm all over the place. It's time for me to get breakfast for my kids. So I appreciate you so much for being with me. I hope you enjoyed the video. Don't forget to like and subscribe before you leave. Hit the notification bell. I've always got new stuff coming up, and I'll see you again very soon in my next video. Have a great day. Bye.